Hello everyone, and welcome to round one front nine action of the 2023 TruBank Des Moines Challenge here in Indianola, Iowa, right outside Des Moines actually, here with BigBarri commentary, Jerm, Koling, and Ulibarri. We got something pretty cool coming up here, guys. We have a pre-order for a very special thing. He was our guest this week on our practice round, and he broke a long time no ace curse in our practice rounds. And he also went off and won the 2023 DDO, spoiler alert. Go check this out. Available in a couple colors. The amazing Parker Welck. Big ups to him. Yeah. Go check that out. It's a limited action hero. He's a limited action hero, but it is a limited release and it's pre-order only. Sales end July 1st.
Part of those proceeds go directly to Parker, so make sure you support him, man. It was awesome to have him on the show. And let's get into this week, though. Yeah. Parker, congrats, but we're moving on.
Yeah, you were old news. New news. No, only kidding, of course. Here at Pickard Park, famous Pickard Park, number 2 ranked course in Iowa, designed by 5-time world champion Juliana Korver. Very cool. Just found that out earlier this morning. Fantastic park course. We are going to have a wonderful time. Simon Lizotte, the local hero Gannon Buhr. Didn't have a great performance last year on our feature group, I believe, but he's looking to make amends this year. Ezra Aderhold. He's a strong competitor.
Playing well this year.
Very consistent.
I think the most consistent. Besides Cal.
Yeah,
besides the obvious guy. You know?
Right. And Brodie Smith, who has worked on so many parts of his game this offseason, really dedicating himself to this craft. It's been amazing seeing him this whole journey. I mean, really finding disc golf and becoming a disc golfer. And he had some great finishes last year. And I think this is his first time on Jomez in 2023. Could be wrong about that. Maybe second time, but either way, he is here for our feature group. And we are on to what is actually ranked as the hardest hole on the course. I know there was a graphic early that said hole 2 was, or hole 11, but hole 1 is the most difficult hole in the course. And of course, we have last year's champion, Simon Lizotte.
Very steep on the hyzer. It's going to be inbound. It's going to be high up on the hill. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it is.
High up on the hill, but that's going to be about 400 into the pin, I'm guessing. There's the rejoice for the hometown kid.
Want to get this one out wide and high. And that's what he's done, but that is heading far left as well. A little safer than Simon's.
Next up from Aberdeen, South Dakota, please welcome Ezra Aderhold.
I'm going to be curious to see if they go sidearm or try to attack the back side of that with the hyzer from the position up top. And Ezra's going up top as well, it looks like.
All these drives are very, very safe. I'm not seeing anyone getting flat in order to get more distance off the tee.
Texas, put your hands together for Brodie Smith.
My name is Brodie Smith. I'm sponsored by Discraft, and we are in Des Moines, Iowa. I've actually played pretty well out here in the past. Last year was kind of a weird one where we played 2 rounds in one day, and that was a little strenuous on my body, but otherwise, this is one of my favorite courses. I think it's an awesome course, and the fans here are unlike any other, so I always look forward to DMC. This off season, I really focused kind of on my health a lot more than actually disc golf. Last year, playing all these tournaments, my age is starting to get up there a little bit. My body's not really responding like it used to. So I really put a little bit more emphasis on strength training, health. I talked about it a little bit on our podcast, how I was super confident going into the Dynamic Disc Open last week. Ended up playing pretty poorly in the tournament, but I'm very confident in my game right now. It's been feeling really good. The power forehand has been something that I can kind of lean on a little bit more these last few tournaments. It's just now, can I get all the pieces together and can I make it to where my bad shots aren't costing me tons of strokes? But now it's like we're getting close towards, you know, the second part of the season now. Now I really want to kind of start cranking it up and put myself hopefully in contention at some of these things. So if the wind's down, this is a course that's super scoreable. There's holes out there to get, and hopefully I can go out and get them.
There you have it. Brodie is a guy who is ultra focused, determined, and he believes in himself, man, and that's been his biggest strength in this whole journey.
Placing it up there by the other drives. Yeah, nice little piece on Brodie there.
All right, and Simon looks to be appearing to be going for the hyzer side, which can be a bit scary. That tree does have limbs that hang over OB. Simon not challenging the height.
Going into the little cubby hole.
That'll be an obstructed putt for Brodie.
That's where, like, you go for tornadoes.
And Gannon, this is a little early, sawed off. This could be out of bounds. And it does find the early OB. Very hard to get all that distance up the hill. It's probably 370 from where Gannon was.
This one not looking good either. It's like the same shot.
Same shot, yeah. And you can see why this is one of the hardest starting holes. That uphill second shot is so far. It's hard to get the distance right.
Yeah.
Ezra not going to make the same mistake, pushing it wide.
I feel like these guys could just get a little flatter and have like 200 in. This is bizarre to me.
That's what I was surprised with the tee. The tee shots were very safe. All in bounds, but all on perfect hyzer angles. They never really got flat.
Yeah, if you go into that little shelter, free relief out of the shelter.
Oh, yeah, look at that. They're calling it the Hobbit hole or the...
Something like that.
Keebler Elf hole, or everyone's got a fun name like that. And is that where Simon landed? Like, in there?
And then he landed in there.
Well, free relief for the birdie for Simon. Nice starting putt.
Mm-hmm.
A good 35-foot putt to get your day started, Simon. Well done.
Nice little putt there from Ezra, making it look pretty easy.
I'm excited to watch Ezra today. I've really enjoyed watching his putt develop. He's always had a pretty speedy putt, and I'm not sure if he's still putting as hard as he once was, but I think that he's developing into a very, very strong putter. And obviously, big distance off the tee. How does he shape these lines that the course provides? We'll see, but it'll be a fun watch today for sure. Starting bogeys for Gannon and Brodie, birdies for Simon and Ezra.
Hole 2, par 4, 753. Pretty much an island hole. Throw it from a tee box where you have to get in bounds, out of bounds right and left, go to a drop zone. As you can see there, that's a nice little graphic. But it's downhill and you want to place it just adjacent to those little guardian trees and then up the hill to a right to left green, sloping green. So this is what you're looking for right here.
Yeah, this is big distance and a lot of safety. As long as you're getting past that tree that you see on your right side of the screen, you're liking it. I guess you don't want to be in the trees necessarily.
Yeah, this is a great hole until, well, not great hole. This is a fairly easy hole until it gets a bit windy, and then it becomes a little more stressful.
Oh my goodness, Ezra.
Right now, it's the second easiest hole.
Yeah, just blasting off around the entire grove of trees. That is a huge drive, setting up a pretty simple forehand approach. You could even go backhand if he wants. Gannon, nice one as well. Yeah, this is a little too...
Good.
Well, this shot's great, but the hole itself, the tee shot is a very fun tee shot to throw, but it's too big of a landing area for these guys to have any trouble with it. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. The only thing you can really do that's bad news is get it going flat without height, and then you can find the OB deep. Other than that, I did see some people trying to, like, for some reason, throw left or right. Ew.
Goodness. A misfire from Simon. Gannon left himself below the hole about 30 feet.
But yeah, I saw where that disc is right now. I saw people trying to flex.
Yeah. Oh, look at
the
that.
eagle.
Into the mulch for Brodie. That forehand looked very smooth. It's been one of the things he's been working on the most in his disc golf progression, getting away from the ultimate style forehand and working on throwing and guiding a golf disc. Obviously, two very, very different
Hey, Ezra,
schools of thought.
Get lucky much? Jeez. Jeez Louise.
That's what happens when you have 250 to the pin after a drive that far.
There you go.
Yeah, Simon's like, I should have done that the last time. But that is, it sets up so well with the forehand with the right to left hillside. And Gannon off to a shaky start. 1 over through 2. Hole 1 is only the hardest hole in the course because you see so many people go out of bounds right. But if you keep your second shot in bounds, like Ezra and Simon did, you're more than likely going to get the birdie. So basically what I'm saying is I don't really feel like hole 1 doesn't seem like the hardest hole in the course. It feels like we're starting off on 2 birdie holes. And so, you know, Gannon's not going to like the 1 over through 2. You can see that in the tap out. It's time to get serious.
Well, hole 3 is a hole where it's pretty serious. Pretty serious business.
It is very, very serious business. We go from pretty much 2 wide open shots to a very technical hole.
No, very serious business hole.
Very serious business hole. Downhill, par 3, 320 feet. They have opened up this line to make it fair without the tiny, tiny trees that people were hitting last year. It's much more accessible in the gap, but you have to watch out for going out of bounds right and long. Comes into play quick. The grass does provide skips.
Yeah, you want to negotiate just a nice little fairway shot here that skips up.
Ooh.
Into the money spot. That's not the money spot. That's going to be bad negotiations over there for this serious.
This was one of the harder holes in the course last year because if you did come up early, Brodie Smith, another bullseye hit. Beautiful. If you did go short right, there was very little chance to get up and down to save your par. And all the work that they've done it's nice. And Simon, just short of the bullseye. It's very nice, but it also makes the hole a lot more birdieable, but also a lot easier to save your par.
So you're saying it's not.
Oh, Gannon Buhr hitting the box. Wow.
It's not serious business anymore?
It was a lot more serious business last year, but I'm not saying Ezra's in an easy spot. And neither is he. And I wonder if he went so fast and laid up that we didn't even see it. No, okay. They just tapped out while Ezra's moving over to his lie. Okay.
They're like partying the bullseye, and then they got out of there.
That is a scary putt to run. The hyzer takes you straight into the water. Ezra gets aggressive and only misses the putt by a few inches low.
Tough bogey, but this is one that you can definitely bogey. If you go to that same spot, I went there in practice. Mm-hmm. I threw my first ever thumber stall shot to get out. Is that a real thing?
You just made it real if it wasn't before.
A flatty, kind of.
Don't forget to whistle.
Well, they can't see me, really.
hole 4 is one of the signature holes here at Pickard.
Almost just
Par
pushed you
3
in the water.
472 feet. Do not throw me in the water right now, please. I'm wearing a headset. This is just, I mean, attack. Wind is down. Scoring conditions are perfect.
Yes. Can he get it wide enough? This is going to be in the safe zone. This is where when you're not sure and you're the first guy to throw and you're like, what's the wind really doing? This is looking a little suspicious.
It's a good shot. It's in bounds.
Yeah, then you go there. And then Simon goes, okay, thanks for the wind read.
Yeah. I don't think Simon's going to be laying up.
No.
This has got the width. Does it have enough of the late stuff? Oh, yeah. Yes, it does.
You can see just the calmness of
Super casual.
Yeah. Of the water there. There's no wind at all.
This tee shot just gets your adrenaline pumping. It is a fun shot to throw. Okay. Nearly back-to-back bullseyes. I think Simon is just outside. But just throwing lawn darts at a 400, nearly 500 foot hole. This is really wide, but it's also really high. Oh, yes. Just near. I mean, he hits that tree. That thing is gonzo. OB for sure, I feel like.
Ooh, good sit.
Honestly, kind of lucky in a way that it didn't go out of bounds.
I mean, it was halfway in, it looked like. That was
I know.
brutal.
Kind of lucky and unlucky at the same time. And a nice bounce back for Ezra. This is a birdie feel really, really good about. Big time 2 or 4 hole. That being said, the overwhelming majority of the field took par. But yeah, 22% birdie, 23% bogey and above. But yeah, I mean, it's a hole that you definitely, if you've got the distance, it's hard to not attack.
Yeah.
This is right there in front of you. And look at these starts here. Paul Ulibarri, 4 through 4. Connor O'Reilly, Thomas Gilbert.
Just tied for first, no big deal. What is this, 2013? What the heck's going on here?
Oh, 5 island hole. We are on the Hive, folks. This is the version. This is the Des Moines version of the 8 holes and the double 8s at Des Moines at Emporia.
All right. They like it.
We've got Hy-Vee, the local grocery store, is sponsoring the tournament, and I guess also the Hive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got guys dressed like bees. It's awesome.
Wow, this is a just absolutely horked over, stable X1, comes back. I think he likes that. Let me explain that shot. He can throw it as hard as he can, and there's no like touchiness to the shot, and then Anheuser releases his favored sidearm.
Yes.
And so he can do that here.
Ezra, ace run. Oh, wow. Crowd loving that. And these guys can be heard from all over the course. I mean, you could be at the farthest point in the course. You know if somebody just stuck the island. This is also looking quite good. You just want to avoid going deep. You can see that edge of the wood line comes in very close. And a nice little fist bump. Man of the people. All right, Gannon starting to get things going here. 3 birdies in a row, and that's how you reverse a shaky start. In his eyes, though, I think he still is considering this a bad start, and I think that could be scary for the course, because if he takes that early, slow start and turns it into motivation, it could keep him focused throughout the rest of the round.
Good point. I agree with that.
And just you see that a lot of times with Ricky in his prime. Some might argue he's still kind of in his prime, but When Ricky was really scary, it was right after he took a bogey, because he usually turned it around and got 8 of the next 9 holes. Well, that was the easiest hole in the course, and our first star frame of the day. Looks like nobody went 5 through 5.
Calm down. Hole 6 is a par 4, 633 feet. Tough little bugger. Left to right shot. Want to land it in the fairway, out of bounds left, wood line right, and then you want to land 340 to 400 feet so that you can throw high stall from left to right into the green or low skip shot are going to be your options.
A perfect drive for Simon. That's a tough thing to do, to go driver and keeping that thing moving right and not too far right. Really beautiful control. And Gannon is pushing that right side. Good distance, but the angle is going to be awkward. I think he's pretty much left with a backhand Anheuser approach only.
I think this might be a little too flippy on the flippy side.
Oh, no way. Is he looking at the pin, or is that way short?
That's a short pocket.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would have seen a bucket over there.
Thank you. That's how that works. This is the scary thing on this tee shot. It's so easy to underturn your drive, and that fairway just gets tighter and tighter the longer you go down the fairway.
Yeah, it is the right mistake to make, though.
And it opens up the approach very well. But it's safe. Okay, that's good.
Tricky spot, though. You get back there, you're going to have to be kneeling or a little one-legged super putt. That was so good.
Jeez, come on, Gannon. That was beautiful. 4 birdies in a row now.
He hasn't made that.
That's fair.
Simon gets 4 in a row as well.
Yeah, he's nice little 36 feet away. I wouldn't be surprised, though.
I'm up early, so I'm trying to give Jerm a little crud here, guys.
In other words, it's one of those days that ends in Y. Ezra only able to pitch out.
Why am I so lucky I get to be with Paul Ulibarri every morning?
That's what I say. That's my alarm clock. I don't need any sounds. I just think about working with my best bud.
Look at that. That's tough.
Yeesh. Ezra's going to have a very challenging par putt from only 22 feet.
Oh, look at those annoying little branches. What a putt.
What a par save.
Yeah. I mean, when you have the little branches, I don't think people understand how annoying that is.
I think people understand. I hope they understand.
Well, I don't know. Do you think people, like, when there's branches and you're just playing casually? Because I know when I'm playing casually, if I have something in my way, I move it.
Moves the putt under the limb through
sick.
The annoying little branches that people just don't know about.
But you know what I mean?
And saves the par. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I play the same way in tournaments that I do in practice.
Stop. You got a little poison ivy leaf rubbing your eyeball. You're not going to move it in practice?
I'm
intentionally
saying like casual,
rub
it on my face.
Casual, not tournament practice, because we got it, obviously.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But either way, it didn't seem to bother either Ezra or Brodie as they connected on huge par putts for both of them. Simon just barely low with it, or just barely high on the low part of the band. And Gannon picking up the only birdie as we head to hole 7, uphill island hole. This is the biggest 2 or 4 swing on the course. A lot of bogeys. It's a hazard rule, so if you do not land on the island, you play from there. And Gannon is fully erased at this low start now. It's going to be 4 under for the round as he steps up. Yeah, follow flight warranted. Smooth, controlled form. Gannon is playing great now.
Beautiful. He makes this hole look so easy. Let me tell you, it's not. It plays about 400.
Yeah, 345 and uphill 25. I think that's fair. 400.
And those trees on the right are actually in a pretty good spot to make the ante a little bit tricky. These guys are making it look easy, but I promise you, it's more stressful than that.
Did Simon hit the base?
Yeah.
And bounce off? Yeah. Surprised he didn't get a fall flight. Beautiful shot there.
Nice little mid-range for you.
This is looking so simple for our feature group. And Brodie trying something a little different, showing off his hyzer forehand power, and oh my gosh, skipping up nearly onto the base.
Gotta give him a shout out. He gained like 50 feet this year on that thing, I think. I don't know if he was doing it that far last year. I don't remember it, but then I played a practice round with him, and he was just juicing the forehand hyzers.
All hyzer to this pin says a lot.
And you saw it was just a little whoop.
Yeah, it wasn't a big motion. It's just so much. He's got so much power in that compact hit.
Yeah.
It's the same with his backhand too. He doesn't have the fluidity of some of the bigger throwers, but he's got the same power.
Oh, he rips.
Oh, very, very much so. Another star frame for our lead group. That's number 2 for the round. And Chris Dickerson is now emerged as the single leader of the field through 7 holes. The 6 under start is terrific, obviously. Onto the downhill par 3, 8th. 580 feet. Just playing like 470, 450-ish. I don't know. It's hard. It's very reachable.
It just depends on the wind. Yeah, sometimes it plays like 370, and sometimes it plays 550.
Yeah,
you know
sure.
what I mean? It's a bizarre little hole for that reason.
Oh, Gannon's put a good angle and move on this one, and that is awesome.
Like he's landing a mid-range on it, but that was a fast driver. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Simon drifting right. It's going to need to get stable here at the end.
I do like the shot that they're playing. They're not playing the wide hyzer. These guys are trying to get really close, so they're drifting it from left to right. Let's see if Ezra does that as well. He, too, is trying.
Yeah, is trying. Failing a little bit. There is OB on the left side that players can find if they get too safe, but that one is in bounds. And this is also very similar to Gannon and Simon's line.
Go in. Oh, man,
Just
that could have gone in.
Beautiful. Gorgeous flight. Let's see what Ezra has. He's got a look. There is a little shelf there below the pin that missed putts can find and stand up a roll a little bit, but he doesn't have to worry about that right now.
Simon a little farther than I thought. Okay. Yeah, it looked like that he landed in the bullseye, like feather, but that was a circle feather, so it got us.
Wow. Gannon 6 in a row now. Now he's just feeling it. And Brodie, I thought he was in the bullseye too. Still short putt.
So funny, back in the day, playing this hole in particular at Pickard Park at the National Tour, this hole was not getting birdied, and it was by far the hardest hole. Like, people were taking 5s and 6s, just going out of bounds everywhere. And now it's just a little pick-me-up birdie.
Yeah, I mean, 22% of the field, or 22 players, 18% of the field. 1 out of every 5 players is getting it too.
I remember there's backups, 20-minute backups.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I've wanted to play the DMC for so long. It's so nice to finally have the Disc Golf Pro Tour come through Iowa and get to check out what Iowa has to offer for disc golf, because they take these courses very seriously, and they put a ton of work into beautifying and improving the course. And this year they decided to take the basket and put it on top of that planter, on the DMC planter. It is the steepest uphill initial part of a hole that you'll ever play. This hillside is so daunting. Brodie, look at the power there.
Almost
Only
with the
305, but
one job there.
305 on all hyzer on this one is a very tough thing to do. You don't have much space.
I like how they put the OB line left and right away from the tee. Thinking that these players are going to go out
Yeah.
of bounds right there.
I did in our practice run.
I said these guys.
Yeah, I heard you. Ezra also going forehand hyzer. And by me, what I mean when I say there's not much space is there's that one tree on the left side that really shrinks that gap.
Sure.
Goodness.
Why not? 7 in a row. I think now we can officially say really good.
Yeah.
Well, 5 under on the front 9 is solid.
It's solid. But 6 is really good.
6 is getting to
Yeah.
that next level.
Yeah.
Like 5, you're going to see a bunch of people at 5.
Yep.
6,
You're starting to emerge a little bit.
yes.
Yep.
Pull away.
I think that was the right word. Yeah. Pull away. Distance yourself from the competition. Simon finds that magical 600 number as well, with a couple of missed putts also.
See, even on the card. We got a little 5-piece McNugget.
Yeah, and these guys are feeding off one another as well right now.
Yep.
Getting into a groove.
Whole card.
5 under is the worst score on the front 9 for our feature group. That's
22
getting it done.
under.
That's getting it done, folks.
Yeah.
With a couple bogeys. So it could have improved as well. And we've got a local player, I believe, from the area-ish, who is 7 under. Kevin Jones, 7 under. Jake Hebenheimer, 7 under. Those are the elite scores for sure. And then look at the list of 6 unders. And then you talked about it, 5 under is that mark. Top 10 finish in the front 9. But there's going to be a lot of people at that number. Front 9's got some scoring opportunities. Back 9's the same. It's one of those courses where it's on a calm day like we have in round 1. It's hot outside. It's in the 90s. But the birdies are right there. And we're seeing a lot of players get them.
Yeah. I think a couple little tricky ones, like a little coin flip holes. See if these guys can get through those with a couple birds, and then they might be onto something special. But you're going to have to catch us back there to find out.
That's right. 9 more holes in the front 9, or for the round 1, coming right up. See them.